Welcome to Echoes of the Orient. Today we're diving into a little-known truth about money, one that might just change how you see wealth forever. What if I told you that money has an energy of its own, and it tends to flow toward those who are aligned with it, those who carry the right mindset and a sense of inner abundance? Why is it that some people seem to attract financial luck effortlessly, while others constantly struggle? In this video, we'll uncover some powerful and surprising principles that can help you welcome more prosperity into your life. Let's begin this journey together. Have you ever believed that a simple action, like liking a post or leaving a kind comment, could attract wealth into your life? It might sound strange, but this taps into something very real: positive psychological suggestion. It's a concept supported by modern psychology. When you put positive energy out into the world by saying things like, "wishing you success," or "may everything go smoothly for you," you're not just being nice, you're planting seeds of belief into your subconscious mind. And wherever belief is strong, reality often follows. I once knew a woman who had a daily ritual every morning. She'd write a few lines in her journal. Things like, "I'm grateful I had enough for breakfast today," or "I'm thankful for the warmth of my home," small things. But within a few months, unexpected opportunities started showing up. New job offers, collaborations, even a surprise bonus from an old boss. When I asked her for her secret, she just smiled and said, "I focused on gratitude and trusted I deserved good things." These small actions, interacting with others, offering blessings, expressing gratitude, aren't just polite habits. They are tools to rewire how we think about money. Because if you're always saying, "I'm broke" or "life's unfair," your brain internalizes that scarcity. But when you start speaking with hope, seeing abundance around you, and genuinely wishing well for others, you're tuning yourself to the frequency of prosperity. And who knows, maybe even a heartfelt like on this video could be the first small ripple in a much larger wave of abundance heading your way. If we think of positive affirmations as an invitation for money to enter our lives, then our inner readiness is the door that allows it in. Money, much like water, naturally flows to the lowest point. But here's the twist in this context. That low point isn't about weakness or poverty. It's about openness, faith, and a willingness to receive. Think about it. If you turn a glass upside down during a rainstorm, can it catch even a single drop of water? Of course not. In the same way, if your mind is always closed, always anxious about money, skeptical of new opportunities, you could miss abundance, even if it's right in front of you. I once met a man who ran a small roadside motorbike repair shop. Every time a customer stopped by, he would greet them with a warm smile and say, "Thank you, wishing you a safe journey." He wasn't rich in the traditional sense, no fancy cars or big house, but his little shop was always full of customers. One day, a loyal client gifted him a brand new set of tools simply out of appreciation for his genuine positive spirit. That's the power of having an open heart. When you live that way, you don't just attract money, you attract trust, kindness, and opportunity. Things like money frogs, prosperity trees, or feng shui coins might not literally bring magic into your life, but they serve as powerful daily reminders. Honor money, respect it, be open to it. When you treat money like a friend instead of a source of stress, it becomes far more likely to stay with you for the long haul. Once you're truly ready to welcome money into your life like a flowing stream, the next important question is, how will you treat it? And this is where the real difference between the wealthy and the struggling becomes clear. It's not just about how much money they have, it's about how they respect it. Plenty of people say they love money, and who doesn't want more of it? But loving money and respecting money are two very different things. Loving money can sometimes look like chasing it endlessly or spending it recklessly. Respecting money, on the other hand, means understanding its true value, knowing how to earn it, how to spend it wisely, and how to protect it. Take a closer look at how wealthy people spend. They might drop thousands of dollars on an investment course or a quality finance book, but you'll rarely see them splurge on meaningless status items. Meanwhile, some people with less money won't think twice about buying the latest phone every year, yet hesitate to invest in learning new skills or improving their financial knowledge. That's not just a money issue, it's a mindset issue. It's about how much or how little they respect their money. Wealthy individuals often follow a simple but powerful rule: spend less than you earn and invest the rest. They know that every dollar represents time, energy, and effort, so they don't throw it away carelessly. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world, has lived in the same modest house for decades and drives a regular car, not because he can't afford luxury, but because he understands something deeper. Real wealth is built through smart spending and long-term investing. Being wealthy doesn't mean being stingy, but it does mean being intentional. Every dollar they spend serves a purpose. Meanwhile, many people stay stuck financially because they spend emotionally, impulsively, and without a plan, missing out on opportunities to grow their wealth. Respecting money doesn't mean being cheap. It means living with strategy and intention when it comes to your finances. And that mindset, that respect, is the very first step toward building real, lasting wealth. Even with the right mindset and a deep respect for money, many people still struggle to hold on to their wealth. Why? Because they unknowingly engage in behaviors that quietly sabotage their financial well-being, habits that seem harmless on the surface but can seriously disrupt their money flow over time. One of the most obvious examples is gambling and reckless spending. These aren't just poor financial choices, they create emotional chaos. They feed greed, fuel instability, and cloud your judgment. How many lives have fallen apart? How many families broken, all because of a false hope in luck or quick wins? Gambling has never been a path to lasting wealth. It's a shortcut that often leads straight to ruin. But here's the twist: sometimes the most dangerous habits are the ones disguised as good intentions. There are people with kind hearts who want to help others, but they don't take the time to ask the right questions. They donate to shady organizations, fall for scams, or give to those pretending to be in need. And instead of creating good karma, they unknowingly support dishonesty and negative energy. What some might call financial karma that eventually circles back to them. I've seen people spend hundreds of dollars on rituals or spiritual offerings, hoping to ward off bad luck, all while refusing to spend even a small amount on a book about financial literacy. They believe money can be cleansed through ceremonies, forgetting that true protection lies in clarity, self-awareness, and knowledge. Wisdom is the real amulet. Generosity is beautiful, but it must be paired with discernment. Money is energy, and if we use it in the wrong way, it doesn't just disappear, it can create long-term consequences. So before you reach into your wallet, whether to help someone or to spend on something, ask yourself, is this adding real value, or is it quietly draining my financial well-being? Being thoughtful with your money, choosing the right places to give. These are powerful ways to protect and preserve your financial luck for the long run. Many people think wealth comes only from hard work, smart investments, or a stroke of luck. But there's a deeper, often overlooked source of abundance: your relationships at home. Family is where your emotional energy begins, and whether we realize it or not, the way we treat our loved ones can have a powerful impact on how financial blessings flow or don't flow into our lives. There's a saying worth reflecting on. A wife is a treasure chest. A husband is a pillar. If you see them as burdens, don't be surprised if money sees you the same way. It may sound old-fashioned, but there's deep truth in it. Many people struggle in their careers or businesses without realizing the root cause lies in their home. Disrespect, coldness, or constant conflict with a partner can quietly erode your luck and block the energy of prosperity, no matter how successful you may seem on the outside. If someone is constantly criticizing their spouse, taking out stress on their family, or treating their home life as an afterthought, they're often the same people who wonder why their fortunes suddenly collapse. Have you ever noticed people with lasting wealth almost always value their families deeply? They're not just good earners, they're also present, supportive spouses and responsible parents. They understand that a home filled with love and respect creates the kind of peaceful environment where opportunities and abundance naturally thrive. The same principle applies to how we treat our parents. Gratitude and respect toward those who raised us isn't just about morality, it lays the foundation for a smooth, fulfilling life. No matter how talented or capable someone is, if they turn their back on the people who give them life, they're often unknowingly cutting off the flow of blessings at the source. You'll hear it time and again in old stories. In real life, those who live with kindness, gratitude, and integrity tend to rise above adversity and enjoy lasting success. But those who act selfishly or ungratefully often find themselves stuck no matter how hard they try. Money isn't just about individual effort. It's energy. It flows through our connections with others. When you honor your family, treat others well, and keep harmony in your home, you create a magnetic field of positivity, one that naturally attracts wealth, opportunities, and good fortune. Have you ever noticed that the words we speak every day aren't just words? They're prophecies. We're constantly shaping our future with what we say. Our language reflects our deepest beliefs. When someone repeatedly says, "I'm broke, I'll never have money," "My life is a mess," they're not just venting, they're planting seeds of limitation in their subconscious. And the truth is, the subconscious doesn't argue. It listens, accepts, and works to make those beliefs real. I've seen people use social media handles like failure in life or forever broke as a joke or a way to express frustration. But here's what they might not realize: names carry energy. Every time you log in, you're reinforcing an identity, and that identity shapes what you believe is possible for you. On the other hand, successful people tend to speak the language of abundance, opportunity, and gratitude, even when they're still climbing their way up. They don't ignore the hard times, but they frame them as challenges, not as a life sentence. They speak with hope, not defeat. If you want to change your financial destiny, start by changing the words you use every day. Don't call yourself just lucky to get by. Start seeing yourself as someone who's attracting wealth, instead of saying, "I have no money." Try, "I'm learning how to manage money better." It might seem small, but these shifts rewire your mindset from the inside out. The biggest transformation doesn't start in your bank account. It starts in your belief system. Speak kindly to yourself. Speak like someone who's on their way to abundance. And before you know it, your reality will begin to match the words you've been saying all along. There's an old saying: wealth doesn't last beyond 3 generations. At first, it might sound like a prophecy carved in stone, but really, it's a warning, a reminder of what happens when financial wisdom isn't passed down. The first generation builds wealth from the ground up through hard work, sacrifice, and vision. The second enjoys the fruits of that labor. But if they haven't been taught how to earn, manage, and grow that wealth, they often just consume it. By the third generation, if financial habits and values haven't been instilled, the fortune can vanish completely, but it doesn't have to be that way. Families that intentionally teach their children about money from a young age tend to thrive across generations. They raise kids to be independent, to respect the value of work, to save, invest, and think long-term. These aren't just life skills, they're survival skills in the modern world. Take a look at legacy families like the Rockefellers or Rothschilds. Their wealth wasn't just preserved by trust funds. It was sustained by financial education, discipline, and an ability to adapt. Their children learned to read financial statements, think like investors, and understand how the world of money truly works, all as part of their upbringing. In today's fast-changing world, protecting your family's financial future means more than saving. It means preparing the next generation. Teach them how to spend wisely, how to earn in sustainable ways, and how to stay informed about investing technology and the shifting landscape of the global economy. Teaching your kids about money doesn't make them greedy, it makes them capable. It gives them the tools to use money as a force for good, to build a meaningful life, not just a wealthy one. And when you plant those seeds of wisdom early, you're not just preserving wealth, you're passing on a legacy that can bless your family for generations. Let me tell you a story, a simple but powerful reminder that true wealth often finds its way to those with integrity, not just those chasing money. There was once a young man who had almost nothing to his name, just $20. With that, he bought 2 baskets of unripe oranges and set off on a journey, hoping to find a better future. When he arrived in a distant town, something unexpected happened. The oranges had ripened perfectly along the way. Their sweet, fragrant scent filled the air and caught the attention of a passing guard. Curious, the guard tried one and was instantly impressed by its fresh, vibrant flavor. He didn't hesitate. He bought every single orange the young man had. That alone could have been considered a lucky break, but the story doesn't end there. While exploring the island, the young man stumbled upon a large, gleaming seashell so rare and beautiful, it looked like a treasure. But instead of rushing to sell it or taking advantage of someone, he simply kept it with him, not expecting much. Soon after, he happened to meet a merchant. The moment the merchant saw the shell, he was captivated. He offered a huge sum for it, even willing to trade his entire shop and belongings just to own it. But the young man didn't get swept up in greed. He stayed grounded and eventually sold the shell for a fair price, securing a comfortable life without ever chasing after it. Now, this may sound like a story of luck, but in truth, it's a story of character. A reminder that money often flows to those who live with grace and patience, not those who frantically chase after it. You see it in real life too, people who obsess over money, who scheme, cut corners, or betray their values to get ahead, rarely find lasting success. Even if they do, it doesn't stay for long. Meanwhile, those who focus on doing good work, who live honestly and with purpose, tend to attract opportunities. Not because they chase wealth, but because they're aligned with it. So maybe the secret isn't to run faster toward money, but to become the kind of person it naturally flows to. Instead of worrying constantly about how to get rich, focus on growing your character, focus on adding value, being kind, and staying true to your principles. When you do, wealth may not come overnight, but it will find you, and it will come not just as money, but as a life filled with meaning, trust, and genuine abundance, because real prosperity doesn't just live in your bank account, it starts in your heart. So how do we truly attract wealth and success? The answer is surprisingly simple, and yet deeply profound to attract money. You need to have virtue and the right mindset. It's not just about chasing material things or believing that money alone brings happiness. In truth, money isn't just a number. It carries a kind of energy, a kind of intuition, and it flows to those who have the capacity and the character to receive and manage it wisely. You've probably heard the phrase, money has a mind of its own. That's not just a saying, it speaks to a real pattern we see in life. Money doesn't always go to the people who hustle the hardest or sacrifice everything to get it. Instead, it often finds its way to those who live with integrity, discipline, and a deep respect for its value. Look at the people who've built lasting success. More often than not, they're not the loudest or the most materialistic. Take Warren Buffett, for example, one of the most successful investors in the world. Despite his massive wealth, he simply sticks to strong principles and is famously disciplined when it comes to money. He doesn't waste it. He invests it wisely, and he gives generously to causes. He believes in his wealth didn't come from desperation or greed. It came because he earned it through wisdom, restraint, and a clear sense of purpose. So instead of forcing money to come your way, try living with honesty, clarity, and respect for how money works. The right mindset is not about worshiping wealth. It's about understanding money as a tool to create a meaningful life. When you treat money with care and use it with purpose, it begins to flow naturally into your life. Sometimes it's not that you lack money, it's that you haven't yet developed the inner readiness to manage it. Money doesn't stay with those who are careless or irresponsible, but it does stay with those who live with integrity, who act with intention, and who build value wherever they go. So be someone who deserves wealth, not just someone who desires it. Work hard, live responsibly, and stay grounded. And when you do, money will come not because you chased it, but because you became someone it can trust. When you have the right heart, the right habits, and the right purpose, everything else will follow. Thank you for spending these moments with us. If this message resonated with you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Echoes of the Orient. Our channel is home to many more videos that reveal timeless Eastern wisdom insights that can bring clarity, peace, and practical solutions to the challenges of modern life. Until next time, stay grounded, stay kind, and let wisdom guide your way.